Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today's lesson is Module 9, Top Stars, Part 2. The learning objectives for today's lesson are number 1, identify the rule of the present perfect in the negative and question forms. And number 2, to use the rule of the present perfect in the negative and question forms in speaking and writing. Alright, let's start. And like we're used to, I'd like you guys to be ready with your materials as we work throughout the lesson. I need the student's book to be open on pages 104 and 105, and the workbook to be open on page 92. In the beginning, what is the theme of Module 9? Like the whole module, what is it talking about? That's right. It's talking about life experiences. Very good. So, have you ever been to new places? Have you ever seen new things? Or even, have you ever tried doing new stuff? Well, we'll see together. So, let's read the sentences and tell me, what do you notice? We have you ever seen a camel? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. I haven't tried scuba diving yet. I've never tried skiing. I've never been to an aquarium before. It's my first time. So, what do you notice here? That's right. We notice that we're using the present perfect tense. Right? Very good. But in which form? Yes, it's in the question form and in the negative form. All right, now have you noticed anything else? That's right, there are words that are associated with these structures, like ever, never, yet, and just. Very good, awesome. Before learning about the present perfect in the negative and question forms, first, let's find out when do we use the present perfect in the first place. Well, we use the present perfect simple for actions which happened in the past, but the exact time that they happened is not important. The result of these actions are obvious in the present. This is very, very important, so pay close attention to this. And we learn now about the keywords or the time expressions that are used with this tense. We have ever, never, and yet. We use ever in questions. For example, have you ever visited Paris? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. And we use never in affirmative sentences, but with a negative meaning. For example, I've never seen a blue whale. All right, so this means that he hasn't seen him. And finally, yet, we use yet in questions and negative sentences. It goes at the end of this sentence. So it's important to know where do we put yet. For example, have you packed everything? No, I haven't packed everything yet. All right? Before we get to the negative and question forms, let's make a quick recap on the form of the affirmative present perfect. From the name of the tense itself, we have the word present, which means that the helping verb will be used in the present, which is have or has. And then we have the word perfect, or we're going to use the past participle of the verb, the main verb. That's right. So it's either will be ending in ed or will be using the irregular form of the verbs in the past participle, like played, visited, seen, bought, and driven. And where can we find these? we're going to find these irregular verbs in page 137 in the student's book. So it's very important to learn the irregular form of these verbs. Other than that, it's always ending in ed, so it's super simple. All right, let's get to learn the negative form of the present perfect. We use the present perfect, of course, in a sentence, and we usually start the sentence with, that's right, with the subject. Awesome. After this, we're going to use the verb have plus not and the verb in the past participle form. All right, and then we're going to use the object to end the sentence. Pretty easy, right? Let's see how it works. For the subjects, we have I, you, we, and they, and of course, the verb have in the present form doesn't need to be changed, so it will be haven't, and then the verb in the past participle will be haven't eaten, haven't answered, either ed or the irregular form. And finally, the object will be breakfast yet, or haven't answered this question. Okay, but these are not all the subject or the pronouns. The other group is he, she, and it. And in this time, we're going to change the form of the verb have in the present, so it will be has not. Let's see. Hasn't, and the verb in the past participle, eaten or answered, is unchanged. We don't change anything, it stays the same. All right, let's see an example together. He hasn't eaten breakfast yet. There you go. What about the question form of the present perfect? Well, it's different. And this time, we're going to start with have or has. After that, we're adding the subject, and then we're going to put the main verb in the past participle form. And finally, we're going to put the object. So the subject is going to be between have or has and the verb in the past participle form. All right, let's see how. Let's start with have, for example. What are the pronouns associated with it? Right. I, you, we, and they. Very good. After this, we put the main verb, eaten or answered, in the past participle form. And finally, we put the object, breakfast yet, this question, and so on. So is that it? Is this the final part of the question? Of course not. We must never forget the question mark. Right, awesome. Okay, we've used have before. Let's see has. What are the pronouns that go with it? Right, he, she, and it. And then continue the rest of the question in the same manner. Very easy. Let's check the example together. Has he eaten breakfast yet? We only switched places between has and the pronoun he. Very easy, right? To sum up both structures, let's open the student's book page 137 and look at the negative form of the present perfect. So we have I, you, he, she, and so on, all of the pronouns, and then have or has, and then not, and then the verb in the past participle form, whether ed or the irregular form. For example, I have not played, and if I want to use the short form, I haven't played. All right, let's go to the question now. We start with have or has, and then put the pronoun, and finally the main verb, end it with a question mark. Super easy. Have I played? And then we answer with yes, you have, or no, you haven't. You don't have to complete the whole sentence. Okay? And then let's see with the pronoun he. Has he played? Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. Super simple. All right, it's practice time. Let's go to the workbook, page 92, exercise number 3. We're going to listen and write T for true or F for false. I'd like for you guys to listen carefully and after that, pause the video for a bit, answer on your own, and then check with me later.
Workbook, Module 9, Top Stars. 3. Listen and write T for true or F for false.
Mum, is this you and Dad?
Let me see. Oh, why, yes. Yes, it is.
I didn't know you have been to Africa.
Yes, we have. We've visited Tanzania and Morocco.
Wow, how was it?
Oh, amazing. They're both beautiful countries, but Africa was too hot for me.
Have you been to any other countries?
Yes, we have. We've visited many different cities in Canada and in the US, and we've been to Italy.
Wow, I had no idea. What was the US like?
Well, there are a lot of great museums. I really enjoyed visiting them, but I didn't like the weather. It was quite rainy.
What did you think of the other places?
Well, every country was beautiful. In Canada, there are lots of forests and national parks. I enjoyed Italy too, but we didn't visit many sites because we were only there for 2 days.
So, which country did you enjoy visiting the most?
Russia.
Russia? You've been to Russia too?
Yes, I have, but not with your dad. I went with your grandparents when I was a little older than you are now. It was my first time in another country. There was so much to see and do. We went to Moscow and visited Gorky Park, where there are gardens, ice skating rinks and amusement park rides. It's right next to the Moscow River. It was an amazing experience.
That sounds great, Mum. Have you done any other things that I don't know about?
No, Scott, I've told you everything.
OK, Mum.
All right, let's check the answers. Number 1. Scott has visited Africa with his parents. False. 2. Scott's mom didn't really like the weather in Africa. True. Number 3. The museums in the USA were boring. False. Number 4. Scott's parents spent many days in Italy. False. Finally, number 5. Scott's mom really enjoyed visiting Gorky Park. True. I am so proud of you. Great job. Let's go up in the same page, exercise number 2. We're going to write questions and then look at the answer as in the example and then use the present perfect simple. As you can see here, we have the prompt in number 1. Saleh just buy a new camera. So, to make a question, we're going to look at the subject. We have Saleh, which is he, right? So, we're going to use has, not have. We start the question with has, and then has Saleh just bought a new camera? And then we'll look at the picture on the right. No, he hasn't. He has bought a new tablet. I'd like for you guys to pause the video one more time, answer on your own, and check with me later. Okay, let's see. So, number 2, the prompt says, Rick ever ride elephant? So, the question is, has Rick ever ridden an elephant? Irregular form. Now, the answer is, no, he hasn't. He has ridden a horse. Right. Number 3, Mr. Jassim just eat sandwich. Let's see the answer. So the question is, has Mr. Jassim eaten a sandwich or his sandwich? The answer is, no, he hasn't. He has just drunk some milk or his milk. Awesome job. Very, very good. That was a great job, everyone. Now, time for more practice, which is the speaking. This time, we're going to the Student's Book, page 105, exercise 5. We're going to use the prompts in blue in the middle of the screen to form our questions and answers using the I pronoun and Ali as the subject. All right, so we're going to use have, haven't, and hasn't, and so on. Now pause the video for a bit, read the examples, form your own sentence, and check with me later. All right, let's check. Have you ever tried canoeing? No, I haven't tried canoeing, but I have tried scuba diving. Now change it to Ali. Ali hasn't tried canoeing, but he has tried scuba diving. Okay. Have you ever seen an elephant? No, I haven't. I've never seen an elephant, but I've seen a tiger and a lion before. Change it to Ali. Ali has seen a tiger and a lion, but he hasn't seen an elephant. Finally, we have you ever won an award before? No, I haven't. I haven't won an award, but I won a silver medal before. Change it to Ali. Ali has won a medal before, but he hasn't won an award. There you go. Very good. You guys are awesome. You've done great throughout this lesson. This is it for today's lesson. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.